Hello, ladies and gents. Dyson here, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about the most anticipated games for March of 2025. I am not recording this as soon as I would like to, so it's going to be later in the month that this comes out. It's probably going to be like the 10th or 11th because I am not. I'm recording it around that date. I had, like, my brother was in town and had some other stuff going on, so I didn't get around to it, but I'm doing it now, and we still have plenty of games to talk about, and of course, ones that are already out, you can still look into since they're, looked for by a bunch of people, they're anticipated. So, first, we'll talk about 2 Point Museum. What day is that coming out? That is coming out March 4th, or, well, it's already out. It's coming to PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X. It is a simulation strategy, like city builder game. I think it's like there's like some sci-fi stuff in it. I think it's published or made by Sega, maybe. I think there's some like life simulation stuff too, and it's a city builder. It's got plenty of cool stuff in it. I've seen this one like talked about before, or at least maybe a trailer for it. I remember seeing it like maybe like an Xbox show or a PlayStation show or something like that. I mean, it looked good for a city builder, so I'm sure people have a reason to be excited for it. Or maybe I've seen it because like maybe it's already out on Switch or something. But I know that people were talking about it again. So yeah, if you're looking forward to it, then heck yeah, it's already out. The next game up that is coming out is Split Fiction, which came out on the 6th, which my friend and I have been playing through because we played some of the other games made by the same company. We played A Way Out and we played It Takes Two when they came out. Those games are phenomenal. This game so far has been fantastic. Split Fiction is awesome. If you haven't given it a try yet, you should definitely go give it a try. It's an action-adventure game. It's co-op only. It's split screen and fantasy. There's some sci-fi stuff in there too. It's published by EA, maybe. Yeah, I think EA. Of course, made by Hazelight Studios, and they do great work. It's a fantastic game. That's really all I can say about it. Go play it. It's on Xbox Series X, PC, and PlayStation 5. It's just a phenomenal co-op game. If you're married, you can play with your significant other. If you're not married, you can play with a good friend. You can probably play with your kid if you got a kid, if they're old enough to play it. I don't know if these games are like PG or teen or what, but these games are great. And the newest one being Split Fiction, it's just such a good game. We've been having a blast with it. So definitely check it out if you haven't yet. Also releasing on March 6th is Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster, Gate Rune, and Dunin Unification Wars. I don't know if I said Suikoden or Suikoden, or I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. I've heard of this one before, but I've never heard how it's pronounced. I've seen it before, I guess I should say. It's an action RPG. It's fantasy, turn-based game. These are remasters of some of the originals that apparently people love. It's coming to Xbox Series X, Xbox One, PC, PlayStation 5, PS4, and Switch, all on the 6th. So if you're big fans of the series, it's definitely worth checking out, I think, from just anything I saw. It's definitely one of the more anticipated games this month, maybe not the highest. I'd say Split Fiction was definitely one of the more anticipated games of the month, but this one's up there. It's not bottom, but it's higher than middle of the list. I saw a lot of people talking about it. I've seen many ads for this one, so it's probably worth checking out. And there you have it. And up next is Sugardew Island, Your Cozy Farm Shop, releasing on March 7th, 2025. It's released for PlayStation 5, Switch, and PC, and from what I can tell, it's coming to Xbox, but not yet. It might be later in the month because I haven't seen anything about it being like April or anything like that. I think it's still March, but just later, or maybe they're trying to figure out when it's coming out. I'm not sure, but it's not out on Xbox for some reason. It's it's a simulation, farming, crafting, casual building. It says cute 3D business nature single player game. I think this one was a Kickstarter game if I remember right. It does look like a pretty cozy game. They aren't kidding about Your Cozy Farm Shop. So if you like cozy games, this is definitely worth checking out. This is probably a game I'd play on my Switch or something. I like playing cozier games on my Switch, handheld, all that fun stuff. Like Animal Crossing or something. But yeah, Sugardew Island actually it does look pretty good. So yeah, I'd check it out if you're into cozy games. Of course, this isn't all the games that are really anticipated this year, or this month, excuse me. It's more of the top 15 or so. I try not to do too many of them. There's some that are anticipated, but they're just not quite as anticipated as the rest on this list. But I try to do the ones that people are really looking forward to. The ones that I see people talking about the most are the ones I try to do, because there's way more than this coming out this month. There's all kinds of games, or games releasing that have already released on other systems, releasing on new systems now, stuff like that. But the next one up is Wanderstop, or Wonderstop, Wanderstop, something like that. Came out on March 11th, or it's coming out on March 11th, because that's probably the day this video will go up, so it's coming out today. So let's see, it's coming to PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X. I'm also very tired while I'm doing this, so I'm probably stuttering and saying a lot. This is going to be a fun one to edit, if I even remember to edit out all the uhs and things like that. So I guess if you're watching this and there's some stuttering and mess ups and things like that, sorry. Very tired right now. I'm trying to get this video done and out. This Wanderstop game is an adventure indie simulation game. So this one I haven't really seen anything on, besides people talking about it. So it's anticipated just by the sheer number of people talking about it. It's not one of the most anticipated ones, but it's still worth mentioning because people are excited for it. So I'd check it out, give it a go if it's up your alley for sure. For this next one, we're skipping down all the way to March 20th. Which is Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's coming to PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X. I'm way behind on my Assassin's Creed, so I'm not going to get it right away, but I'll be playing it at some point. Of course, since it's Assassin's Creed, it's an action-adventure game made by Ubisoft. It's going to have the Assassin's Creed formula, going and getting all these collectibles and synchronizing at certain parts to unlock maps and all that fun stuff. This is the one set in Japan that people were kind of not too happy about with certain characters and things like that. So, again, I'm behind, so I'll have to wait and see how people end up liking the game before I ever try it. So yeah, but it's definitely probably most anticipated game of this month. It's definitely the most anticipated one. It's the one I've seen talked about the most. That's the one I've seen ads for the most. People are just talking about this all over the place. There's a lot of people still excited for this game, even though there's people who are upset with this game also. Still tons of people are ready for this game. So you Assassin's Creed fans, be excited. It's coming. I'm excited too. I love Assassin's Creed. I just need to catch up with the other series first. Or rather, others in the series that I haven't played yet. Next is Xenoblade Chronicles X, which of course already released on the Wii U years ago, which was in December of 2015. But on March 20th, we are getting it on the Switch, so yippee. And it's always a game I've wanted to try. I've never played any of the Xenoblade games, but this one always looked really good. It looked super fun, so I might have to eventually get this one, especially now it's on the Switch, because I don't really play my Wii U. I didn't play it a whole lot, but I do play my Switch way more if we're talking like Nintendo consoles. Between the GameCube and Wii, it's one of those is the most played, but right below that is probably the Switch, or 3DS. Or regular DS. Regular DS is probably more. But I have played a lot of Switch. But of course, it's an action-adventure RPG game made by Nintendo. I'd say enough people know about this one. It's a huge game. There's so much going on. I think it's a really long game with so much stuff to do. People loved it. It was apparently a fantastic game. It's probably got some upgraded graphics, even though the Switch is still older and, more compact, so it's not, super powerful. The Switch 2, we know, is going to be on par with pretty much a PlayStation 4 Pro, which people are acting like that's not powerful. For the size of a Switch being that powerful, that's pretty nuts. So I'm pretty excited for the Switch 2 and all the games that I'm hoping make look better. I hope I can just play my regular Switch games on it, which being a Nintendo, I probably can. And if my games run better and look better, or at least just run better, better frame rate, then I'm down. On March 21st, we are getting Atelier Yumiya, The Alchemist of Memories in the Envisioned Land. I don't know if that's how you say it, Atelier or Atelier. I honestly don't know. I've never really heard of this one before, except for maybe there was an anime I saw. I know it's an RPG game. It's coming to Switch, Xbox Series X, PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4. Besides that, I really can't say much about it. Sorry, but it's also not that anticipated. It's one of the lower ones on the list, so I'm not going to talk about it a whole lot. Just know it's an RPG. It's probably like a JRPG. But hey, it's coming to pretty much everything, so that's good. From the people I saw talking about it, they were pretty excited that they get to just play it on whatever. So I'd say go check it out if you're looking forward to it or don't know what it is, and maybe it sounds up your alley, even though I didn't really give you a lot of information here. So I'm not sure how you'd know that or decide, but hey, it's coming out the 21st. I'm so good at this, guys. Don't worry. I'm just the best at it. There was a game I was going to talk about for the 25th, which was Killing Force 3, but it's been pushed back to later this year, so that's all I'll say about it. So on the 27th, there's another game coming out that's anticipated, a game called Atomfall, which one of my friends I know was talking about, and it's also one of the more anticipated games just by a bunch of people this month. It's coming to Xbox Series X, PS5, Xbox One, PS4, and PC. It's an action survival game. It's single player. It actually does look really good. I've seen some trailers and stuff for it. Kind of sucks that it's single player, but at the same time, I love single player games, so I'll be fine with it. But it'd be a cool game to play with friends and stuff too. But the game looks super fun. I love me some survival stuff, and the premise is pretty neat. Let me go read what it is. So, Atomfall is a survival action game set in the rolling British countryside. It is inspired by the real-life events of the 1957 wind-scale disaster in the north of England, picking up the story 5 years after the fire in a fictionalized quarantine zone. Atomfall is an original title that incorporates single-player gameplay and story elements in ways Rebellion has never attempted before. So, let's see if it says anything else. So, central to the dark mystery are the host of eccentric characters and cryptic organisms that inhabit the quarantine zone. Okay, yeah, see, it just sounds fun. It's a pretty it sounds like a survival game. Survival games have always been fun to me. But the setting is pretty cool. It's set in like 5 years after the 1957 dealio means it's probably set in the 60s. A survival game set in the 60s actually sounds pretty dope to me, or around that time frame. Maybe they futurized it a little bit for a video game or modernized it in some way. Honestly, don't know, but from what I can tell in the trailers, the game it looks like it'll be a good one. I bet it does well. I bet people really enjoy it. It's probably going to get at least decent reviews. So definitely check it out if you're into like survival games and stuff like that. Next game that's anticipated is the first Berserker Kazan, which is coming out to PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X. It is an action RPG game. It is made by Nexon, I believe, which are people who I believe those are the people that made the first Ascendant game. So I've not really seen too much on this one, and it's honestly not one of the most anticipated ones. So you'll probably want to go check it out and stuff like that. It's action RPG is I love ARPGs. They're just super fun. So once it comes out, I'll see how people are liking it, and if it's doing well, might give it a shot, might give it a go. So yeah, if you're into that kind of thing, you should go check it out. The screenshots I'm looking at right now, it looks pretty gnarly. I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty cool. It's definitely an action RPG. it looks pretty crazy cool. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be keeping my eye on it for sure. And then another game coming out on the 27th is a game called AI Limit, coming to PC and PlayStation 5. It is an action RPG, Souls-like, like anime dystopian fantasy game. So that tells me enough right there that it's, I don't know, there's a bunch of games I feel like this now. I mean, Dark Souls, like a Souls-like game, that's totally fine with me. After playing Elden Ring, I've now gotten into the Souls series because Elden Ring got me into it. Elden Ring might be one of the easier ones in a lot of ways, but it's definitely made me want to play more of the other ones. I've already played Bloodborne and stuff like that before, but it's got me more into the series where I want to play a lot of the other ones because Bloodborne was fantastic too. But yeah, Souls-like, anime-esque game, and I get why people are anticipating that. It's an anime game, and Souls-like, people like those things. Put them together, you're going to get at least a decently successful video game. So I bet it does well. And it's action RPG, so it's probably going to be more Stellar Blade-ish in a way, I guess, because that's got a lot of action and is Souls-like in a way, and not really anime, but definitely the action part. So yeah, there's people looking forward to it. It was talked about enough. I did see a trailer for this one. It looks like the description for it, like to a T. So yeah, if that sounds up your alley, go give it a try. How many times have I said if it sounds up your alley? I'll have to listen back to that. On the 28th, we get a game called Inzoi, which is a life sim builder, single player, like adventure casual game. So it's a simulation game, but this is PC early access, but people are anticipating it. People are excited to give this one a go. It does look kind of, I don't know, the models are very realistic in a way. It's like realistic Sims, I guess. And I bet a lot of people have been asking for that in the past, so it doesn't really look too bad, and people are excited for the early access, so hopefully it goes well for the developers and they can make a game that people love, because I know a lot of people that play The Sims, and I'm going to have to tell them about this game, because they'll probably eat this crap up. They'll love it. Then on the 31st, we have a game called Post Trauma, coming to Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, and PC. It is a horror, psychological horror, survival horror, puzzle, fixed camera, single player game. So That doesn't sound like something I want to play, but I know why people are excited for it. Horror games tend to do well, especially if done well. Plus, I have seen lots of videos on this one and advertisements. I'm looking at the screenshots now. It does look like, I mean, fixed camera, kind of like what Resident Evil used to do back in the day. It's probably going to be a really good scary game, you know? I mean, it's survival horror, psychological horror, and the straight up horror. Oh man, this game's probably going to do well. No wonder people are excited for it. This one is one of the more decently. It's probably like right smack in the middle for anticipated games this month. So I bet I could tell a couple buddies about this and they'd look into it and probably get it. So yeah, that's coming out last day of the month. But there is one more game I would like to talk about, because I don't think it actually has a release date yet, but it's estimated for this month, and it's extremely, extremely anticipated. People are really, really anticipating this game. And it's a game called Judas, which is an action-adventure shooter, like sci-fi game. So, okay, looking at the video and the screenshots of this is pretty much, I think, inspired heavily by like a BioShock and stuff like that, or some of the people behind BioShock. So, of course, it's going to take inspiration from BioShock, duh. But yeah, it's a first-person shooter. It's very narrative, and like story and stuff like that. So it probably will feel very BioShocky in tons of ways. It actually looks pretty good. No wonder people are looking forward to this. The only thing that I don't like about it is what they have for like the main picture of the game, and like the font for Judas just makes me not want to touch it. And then I saw screenshots and some of the trailers for the game, and I'm like, okay, that looks really good. So if it does come out like in March, it's probably going to do really well. It's probably the most anticipated game on this list from all this stuff that I've seen people talk about with this game. It's just, people are super excited for this. Have not seen any advertisements or anything like that yet because, well, we don't actually have a release date. But if it actually does come out in March, just like surprise, comes out in a week or two, it's probably, I don't know if it'll do that well if they do like a surprise short one like that, but it might. Because like Fallout 4 was like, hey, Fallout 4 is coming out in a month after they announced it, and it was like, oh my god. And Fallout 4 did well, so... Different genres of game, I know, but still, I bet this game does well. Its numbers are crazy. If I type in like Judas game and go try and find people talking about it across different social media sites, there's tons of people. Maybe not tons, but thousands of people, probably. You know, lots of posts, at least I'd say. Tons of posts. So there you have it. That's all the most anticipated games of March 2025. Sorry for getting it out so late, and sorry for having to do it when I'm tired, so it's like really wacky and probably not that great, but oh well. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and toodaloo.